A month later, I was transferred to the Alps. A few people, a few guns, cultivating new brands and products from scratch, while constructing an organization and running quickly. 3 years later, on May 15th, 2024, the Ladao brand was released, and the first model was unveiled, and there are so many beautiful memories in these 3 years. The story of the Alps starts in this office. In the first half of the year, we moved 4 times, and finally had our own office building, after going through cycle after cycle of brand strategy and model sentiment discussions, exploring and analyzing solutions again and again, along with countless arguments and mutual understanding. I think this process is the reward, and this statement is quite reasonable. After over half a year of collaboration, it finally smoothly passed the approval of the first model and entered the research and development stage. Celebrating the first body in white coming off the line, the first lure car was delivered, and another smoothly passed milestone. Lure car completed the first installation. There was also the first review of body color. The winter experiment was really cold. This time, Brother Bing remotely approved the project. The first side wall mold was born. City system trial meeting, the first body in white factory rolled off the assembly line. Meeting smoothly passed. Finally, the first car factory came off the assembly line. Excitingly signed my own name. There was also a perfect end collision. Thank you to every warrior who battled alongside me. Because of you, Ladao became perfect. All of our efforts were worth it. Looking back at the past 3 years of growth with Ladao, I am lucky and full of game. Every road I traveled with my family is a happy road. Happy family has a way. Wish happiness and fulfillment on Ladao.
So that, of course, was a former NEO employee who got converted to and transferred to Alps, which was Onvo, and she talked about how they built the team and how they worked on everything, all the interior milestones that they've accomplished. And of course, a lot of the photos that were shared here could not be unveiled until recently, obviously, because it was quite secretive. But clearly you can tell that this was a long time in the working, and they've been preparing for this for such a long period of time. They started way back in 2021. All right, this Onvo thing wasn't like something that they just came up with recently. It's been 3-4 years in the making. All right, 2021 kickoff. You can see some of the early photos back 3 years ago when they were planning this whole entire thing. Just absolutely amazing seeing these photos. Alp's first mule car, absolutely crazy. Crash test, early crash test for rigidity studies. The colors, you can see the colors there, so those are the colors that you're going to have. And also winter testing, all sorts of these kind of really cool tests. And what's very apparent is they've put a lot of work into this vehicle. All right, so this vehicle isn't going to be like one of those other EV makers that just comes out with a car in a very short amount of time, and then there's problems everywhere. This is a car that's pretty much ready, all right, pretty much fully ready with a lot of work put into it. So NEO CEO has also said recently that Onvo's deliveries in September will be a gradual ramp up, and then also that apparently the pricing for Bass variant, the model without the battery, you're renting the battery, that is actually going to be under 200k RMB, 100% guaranteed by top management. And that will, of course, make the car extremely affordable by everyone. And if you look at it now, all right, all the NEO vehicles being purchased, 80% of them are bought under the Bass policy right now, recently. And because they made the Bass policy very attractive, and it's just the way it's supposed to be, right? If you're looking to switch a car in 5 years or 2 to 5 years, then of course Bass is going to be the way to go, right? So if they come out with a similar policy for Bass, making it, of course, cheaper if you're renting the battery, but also they got some little things attached to the monthly payments. For example, you're paying monthly, and then you get a 100 RMB voucher for your next Onvo purchase for every monthly payment, which is what NIO is doing right now. So that is going to be spectacular. That's going to really help Onvo sales take off like crazy. I mean, if this car is going to be at around the 170k RMB range with BAS and it has a good policy, that's going to sell fantastically well. All right. And I've seen some of the interior photos, just looks crazy. This car looks absolutely crazy. You can also put a table inside it, apparently. Okay, apparently. And it's just going to sell really well because you're buying a Model Y at essentially 70% of the price. So you're getting like 30% or 40% off of a Model Y if you choose this car with BAS policy. And the BAS policy will be the way to go if they have similar great incentives. Now, guys, I just want to quickly address NIO stock. We got record deliveries, but the stock did not pop. All right, it went up slightly and then it came back down. What's going on with that? Of course, you guys are all wondering about that. Well, of course, the market is down like crazy, 1% down. The whole entire market's down. NIO is also down. Also, we got earnings in about 2 days, so people are a little bit hesitant about buying right now when you got earnings coming out so soon, okay, in about 2-3 days. So people are taking more of a wait and see approach, and that's absolutely fine. And also, if you look at it volume wise, there's barely any volume, man. 38 million shares, average volume is 59 million shares. So this is just, there's basically no trading activity. All right. And if you look at it from a trading perspective, right, from this move up from the lows at 4.73, which I said we should buy, this whole entire pullback, I said, hey, we're going to pull back. When we were like over here, I said, hey, we're going to pull back maybe to 4.7, 4.8. We got that pullback. We're going up. We're just pulling back again. All right. And this, depending on how you look at it, it's just another little short pullback to the 0.382-ish area. And this would be a fantastic new buying opportunity, in my opinion, if you guys are brave enough to hold through the earnings, which I believe will be a beat. All right. I believe it's going to be a beat, but that's what I believe. I don't know what you guys believe in. All right. And you could look at it this way, from the recent bottoms here all the way to this yesterday's, last week's high, 5.5. This pullback today is just back to the 0.382 line. So that's perfectly fine. This is another buying opportunity for another move up. And guys, nothing goes straight up forever. There's always going to be a little bit of pullback, but that's absolutely fine. I mean, that sort of reminds me of what we got like over here. We got that pullback here, right? Look at that. Got pop up high, pull back. But that's just normal, right? That's just normal. That's absolutely normal. It's unfortunate that Deliveries did not send this much higher. People are taking a wait and see approach for earnings. Hopefully earnings will be a decent surprise for us all. So I'm not worried at all that the fact that the stock has pulled back a little bit. Earnings, in my opinion, is going to be fantastic. So you do what you want. I mean, they're making record deliveries. NIO is a great company when the stock is at 5. NIO is a great company when the stock was at 3.7. NIO is a great company when the stock was at 60. Okay? So just take that for what it's worth. I think you are getting a very good entry here, and that's all that matters. Okay? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.